Okay, so now we're gonna examine the flowers, finally. Okay, so we got the watering can. This watering can has a rather robust design.
Mr. Edgeworth, why are you telling us stuff we can clearly see for ourselves? Plus, if you keep wasting time talking about that, Miss Von Karma's gonna get arrested.
I better examine something else. Okay, so there are 2 holes here. This patch of soil looks as though it has had something removed from it.
What are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why'd you clam up all of a sudden? I'm still here waiting for an explanation, you know.
Did you know, Agent Lang, flowers are best appreciated in silence? It looks like 2 things were pulled out of this flower box. Like the little stakes that are holding the flowers together. The name of these flowers, I believe they're called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they are actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these plant supports.
Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there are only 2 here to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you.
Miles Edgeworth? Hurry up and shut this man up for me already.
I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up, won't I? I need to see something. I don't know if I have them or gave them to Kay, but I have an idea. Wait. The design of these things are rather eccentric for hair sticks.
Huh? Really? Well, if they're that strange, what should I do with them?
I have to say, these are by far the most bizarre hair sticks I've ever seen. In any case, Kay, there's something I've been meaning to ask. How exactly do you stick that hair stick of yours into your hair like that?
Are you seriously asking this right now?
That's a secret.
Curiouser and curiouser. Is that? Wait. Hold on. I need to see something again real quick. Edgeworth's head's in the way. Aren't they the same? They look the same. And there are 2, so that would actually explain... Oh. Hey! I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require.
Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in that face of your current plight. But I highly doubt it'll last until the end.
You howl like a wolf, Agent Lang. But we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. The truth that the passion flowers reveal can be seen in this piece of evidence. If they're the same, these sticks.
Take that!
Sheena, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her. That look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for the passion flowers.
And so what? Is this really all that's important to the case?
Yes, of course it is. It means that we found another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight.
Yeah?
Think about it logically, Agent Lang. These sticks were originally in Alabast, but somehow they wound up in Sheena's hands, who was in Babal the whole night. So make no mistake, These sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife and statue.
Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babal.
How did these support sticks find their way to Babal and why? There must be some reason as to why they ended up here. There. Aha, so that's why! Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape.
It's just another stick, isn't it?
And so it is. But the shape of the support sticks is what's important. For when they are used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus. Oh my god! Wait a minute! The crossbow! You attach one end of wire to one of the sticks and attach the other end of the wire to the other stick. Boom! You technically have a way to connect two rooms. And also, how do you get the other stick to the other side for the wire and all that shit? A fucking crossbow! Ooh, I see. And the object that completes the picture when used with the support sticks is the crossbow.
Eureka! That's a crossbow. Wait, you're not really suggesting...
I am. These hair sticks, or rather plant support sticks, they make for perfect arrows.
I've done it!
I found the common thread that connects the two offices. But this thread is yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Furthermore, who could it have been who fired these sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all of these things together.
Not so fast! Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all!
Oh boy, here we go. There's a reason it's called wire!
So Babal's statue was draped in the Atagarasu's clothes and then shot over here? Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the Prima Duck statues didn't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you?
Yes. The Prima Duck statues didn't sprout wings? Of course they didn't.
Glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact.
It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary to this equation.
What?
You need to free your mind a bit more, and let it fly like a bird on the wind. The Prima Duck statues flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time, and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you. Let's do it, as I've already got this one in the bag.
Hold it!
But that incredible scene just happened to have been caught on film, resulting in this photo.
Ha! And what an incredible scene it was! This photo was taken by a freelance photojournalist, right?
I almost slipped into the Lotta Hart voice for a minute there, my bad. Yes, so I hear coming from the tone of your voice for that last word there.
Oh, shut it! Not every photojournalist is known to be honest, right? Especially not the ones that sell photos of spirits and giant creatures to tabloids.
I'm hearing that, you asshole!
Yes, I know what you mean. I've seen those sorts of photos many a time in court. But there have been times when those photos have turned out to be telling the truth. If you had ever stood in a court of law, you would know that it's entirely plausible.
Ha! You really believe the stuff you're spewing right now? A courtroom certainly is a strange place, if what you say is true.
Believe me, I was in a situation where we cross-examined a parrot.
You can't be serious.
Oh my god.
But there really is something odd about that photo no matter how you look at it. Hold it!
But we are in agreement that an arrow by itself could reach the other side, correct?
But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing!
Oh no, that's not necessarily true.
What?
What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions. It's the launching of my conclusions. What I should have wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statues themselves, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues.
If it wasn't a statue that was tied to the arrow, then what did the crossbow launch?
A motherfucking wire! Although I should probably actually, do more dialogue here.
Hold it!
The thing the crossbow launched? Allow me to show you the answer.
Well, come on then, show me what you've got! But I warn you, I'll know when you're just bluffing.
This is what was launched from this Alabastian office of the crossbow! Hold on. Do I have it? Have it? Yes! Wire! Finally. Finally, we have reached this point in our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow.
I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you are trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow and then shot into Mr. Koshin's office. All the way from the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy
To the 3rd floor of the Babel.
down to the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Alabast's Prima Duck statue could be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then, what about Babel's Prima Duck statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Babel. Going in the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy up to the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy. How do you explain that?
Aha. I think I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick works. Let's see. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick. I wonder perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head.
Motion? What motion?
This is the motion that was employed to smuggle Babel's Prima Duck statue. It wasn't swinging. It can't be bungee. So the process of elimination had to be a rotary motion. I believe it was done via rotary motion. If the two statues were transported simultaneously.
Simultaneously, get real! The statues would collide somewhere along the way.
Objection!
Did I ever say that there was only one line of wire between the two offices? Exactly, that's how it would be done. If you shot an arrow with the two ends on a wire tied to it, the circular belt can be formed. But wait a minute, that requires a two-person trick though, doesn't it? So there would have to be an accomplice in this, wouldn't there? Like somebody that knew the statues were being switched?
Lang Shi says, don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonability. Taking into account the tension between the two wires. The top one would sag too much to the point where the statues would collide anyway.
Objection!
Held up. Agent Lang. As you know, the Prima Duck statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure. And the fact that Babel's statue is a hollow replica of the real statue, it would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible.
Lang Shi says,
What? You know what? It's not even worth it. Here's what I believe happened. Miss Yu and her mystery co-conspirator set themselves up in the two different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the two ends of the wire down on one arrow. Then the two of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport the statues. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Bebal, where it was to be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock. Q-E-D. Ha!
This proves it, right, Agent Lang? That I'm not the killer! Not yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
The proof is in the pudding, as it were.
Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir.
I agree that as long as there is no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no mere hypothesis, for there is one more piece of evidence.
One more? This should be interesting. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor.
The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a length of wire. Circular motion out of a length of wire. If I had to guess... Well, the only thing that really spins right now in this room is probably the ceiling fan, so... I believe that is right here in this very room. Well, that just proved it. Yeah, it was a ceiling fan. Now then, I believe this is what made the circular belt transportation method possible. Well, the only thing that does it is quite literally the ceiling fan. That would have the thing that you need for the rotary function. This is the only thing that has the rotary function, and it supplies us with the rotary motion that we need to perform this trick.
Ha! Looks like you dropped another bomb on us again!
The last piece to the trick are two pulleys. Precisely. The ceiling fans double as pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there was one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fans made for the perfect pulley set for the wire to run on. This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypassed the impenetrable security.
Oh, you really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured it all out already, haven't you? You know who the big hotshot that set up this whole real-life stage show is, don't you?
The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who had foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Alabastian and Babalese offices, and that the passion flower support stakes could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case.
Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food!
Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeworth? If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do?
A single point of the finger here in this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now, but to rush in. There is a piece of evidence that will point us to who the mysterious mastermind is. Well, sadly... Oh, hey, they're crossbow arrows now. I hate to say it, but I think I know who it is. There's only one potential person that could be done with.
Take that!
And it's somebody who knew. Somebody who Francisca couldn't really see what he was doing. This smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had the time to grow so big that Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited this room today. On top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that both offices had ceiling fans tells us that the person has very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So as you may have already guessed, the person I am accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with the utmost care. Thus, it can only be you, Quercus Alba!
Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeworth?
I'm certain of what I am saying, and I'm sure that he is the culprit.
Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor, what was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all that stuff you just outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that?
I understand you need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd.
Just one thing, huh?
The one single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. The one thing that proved who's the real Cadopia. The statue. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. Not the Babal one, the Alabast statue.
Take that!
I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Prima Duck statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Prima Duck himself?
I see. Ambassador, we'll be examining that statue now, with or without your permission.
Not even a word, eh? Alright, so now I can examine this. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Alright, zoom in. See if there is something here. The sword. With this sword drawn like that, there was an aura of valor and bravery around King Prima Ducks.
He looks so cool staying like that with the sword stuck in the ground in front of him. Maybe I should try and come up with some cool pose with a shuriken or something.
I am seriously beginning to think that her real goal in life is to become a ninja.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, there isn't anything particularly odd about the sword, right?
No, not really. I suppose we should examine a different area of the statue now. Okay, so it's not the sword. Hold on, let me just, wish I could just kind of scroll upward, but no. The head?
This guy kind of looks like the Steel Samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look alike that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador?
I suppose that's possible. Take a look at this area around the base of his neck. It looks like a gap. Oh, the head pops off, doesn't it?
Hey, you're right! Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret?
There's something inside the statue, isn't there? Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in its construction.
What? Hurry up and open it, Miles!
All right, here goes.
Wow, it really did open up. Oh! What the? Hey, what's this thing that fell out?
A believe a more thorough examination of it is required. What in the... is this?
Hey! Is this what I think it is?
It's a plate for making counterfeit bills!
Somehow, it appears that we've at long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. The blueprint. The one to help create the counterfeit plates. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates. And the reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabasta to begin with! The counterfeit plate. The Prima Duck statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the Secretariat. And the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make this statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Sheena, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into Damask II. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at Damask II and killed him. Then, in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba,
You're the leader of the smuggling ring? My country is a mess. And it's all because of you?
You're the one who killed Damask II?
answer us!
I never thought that you would figure things out to this level.
Oh,
However, there is one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Cochin.
hold up!
Quit screwing around! I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt onto a dead man. If there is one thing I'm sure of, it's that you're the real ringleader, Corcus Alba! It's not good to speak with such subjectivity, you know, Agent Lang. Subjectivity? My conclusion isn't anything but, and is the result of logic and investigation. Logic and investigation? Only seconds ago, you were ready to arrest Miss Von Karma. I don't think we can give such flip-floppy logic any real weight, do you? It looks like you still don't get why I came back. Excuse me. You see, the reason I came back is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old neck! From the very beginning, my real target has been you! What?
Agent Lang, I demand an explanation!
Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you through all that.
There we go, I was right!
I knew you were innocent from the very beginning.
You did?
I knew that this whole incident has been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most suspicious. But without the ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take another look around.
Good on... I knew I was right to trust in you! Ah, so that's why you put on this big show to accuse Francisca of the murder. Using Francisca as the bait, you were able to gain us entry in investigative rights.
Yeah, if I hadn't done that, I doubt the ambassador would have given the okay to poke around.
So that's what all this was about. Very well, I will forgive you. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth.
Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you.
You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, that you would be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic.
The evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor. That's just as it should be in a prosecutor-detective team, right?
I don't know about all that, but one thing I do know that I'm itching to see that old man get what's coming to him!
You're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you?
Hey, you were the one who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto the sis. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me.
Agent Lang, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. What we need right now is evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring.
Objection!
Hold it! Don't be such a sore loser! If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity.
Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some of this thing you call evidence. I tell you, I knew nothing, really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue.
Hold it! You swapped a real statue that vested in your country the authority to rule for a fake! It doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything!
It doesn't make sense. Where doesn't it make sense?
Also, this theme playing right now. I like this.
Can you prove that it doesn't make sense?
He's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us.
The proof that Interpol has been after, which points this man as the ringleader. If we can somehow find that proof now, then we can see to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing I can use to break this case wide open? The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what, a protector of the law can't be allowed to use such pieces of evidence. We may have no choice. It's against the code of ethics with law, but it's the only way to bring him down. Which unfortunately opens up a heck of a hell of a legal mess.
Needless to say, we Von Karmas are commanded to achieve nothing but victory. And by any means necessary.
The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought. At the time.
I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma. And I won't follow the path of the Yatagarasu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law? And what is justice? And which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? This is actually a legitimately good dilemma for Edgeworth of all characters. In a way, if he uses illegal evidence, he would be following the creed of Von Karma. But he wants to follow justice and step away from Von Karma's shadow. But unfortunately, this may be the one time that he has to swallow his pride and do it. That choice is one I must make by my own hand, here and now. To be another way. The thing is, I don't want to put Edgeworth through the whole thing of having to... This sucks. I don't want to put him through this. God damn it. I have to. It's the only way to bring him down. It is... Fuck, it is the only way to bring him down. Fuck. There is no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law too crosses into new territory. For what reason were laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now show. Ambassador Alba. I wonder if you might recognize this.
Oh, I wonder what that card is. I've never seen that before in my life.
It's a directives card used by the leader of the ring to relay instructions to his subordinates.
Oh, is that what it is?
This card was sent by the real culprit behind the KG-8 incident 10 years ago. A man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin.
Oh, so why do you have such a card in your possession?
Because it was hand-delivered to me. By a certain great thief. The Yatagarasu.
Yatagarasu gave that to you? Don't talk nonsense. And let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that the card contains directions from the ringleader?
Oh, I'll have you know that the card is not the only thing I was given.
What?
This contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KG-8 incident.
The KG-8 incident?
The card and the video. These two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate!
Very interesting. I must admit, I am very curious now. Very curious indeed in these case-deciding pieces of evidence you've presented.
The prey the Yatagarasu has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can't allow this man, who has had free reign for 10 long years, to simply walk away. Now's the time for me to bring to fruition the valiant spirit that was given to me! March 15th, 1:34 a.m. Theatrum Neutralis lobby, and we're just out here now.
So, what is this interesting thing that you wanted to show me?
The trump card and the videotape. These two pieces of evidence together make for the ultimate hand. I think I made the right choice, but what would have happened if I picked the other option? And this is where the real meaning behind Detective Bad's words will be realized. Detective Gumshoe!
Yes, sir!
What you see here is security footage shot just before the KG-8 murder incident occurred, sorry. From this footage, we know that the card is a directives card from the smuggling ring. This is the section that proves that the card was used to relay an order. have to be the card. That's literally the... It would have to be the freaking card. The card in his hand. As you can see, Mr. Kojin is holding the card in his right hand.
I see. The killer is indeed holding a card with the exact same design on it. But that card and the one you have, just because they look the same doesn't mean that they are, does it now?
Ah, but there's a very easy way for me to prove that they are in fact one and the same. All we have to do is simply take a look at this. Oh, the blood stain. There. See? This dark red blood. Yes, this is your proof. Proof that the orders on this card were played out in that terrible tragedy. The blood belonged to the victim of the KG-8 incident. With a bit of DNA testing, we can very easily verify that as fact. If you have no objections, then I'd like for you to take a look at this next piece of footage. This car that passed by in front of the victim's apartment building. It's an official Kadopian government car.
What?
Detective Gumshoe, if you could please magnify the footage. Oh. This area of the footage directly links the smuggling ring with Kadopia. Okay, let's actually take a look at this. Okay, so there's somebody in there. It's not that in his... It's not that. There's something else. Wait. Is that... That thing in the corner over here, is that the... God, with the way the pixels look, it's kind of hard to see. Isn't that the symbol... I think that is. I think that's supposed to be the symbol of the Kadopian embassy.
Take that!
This section will make it all clear to us.
You must be very tired, Mr. Edgeworth. If you continue presenting your completely irrelevant evidence like this, I'm afraid your investigation may fall apart. Perhaps it is time for you to retire.
Wait! But I was so sure it was this area. All right, focus, Miles. The area I should be pointing out is definitely here. But I was right! It has to be! That... Was I wrong and maybe it was this? Like, it looks like a black card, but I always assumed it was a wallet or something like that, but... Is that it? The shape of his pocket, and the directive's card in it. Okay, so it was the card that's in there. It tells us that without a doubt, this person in this car is Mr. Kojin. The license plate on the car was also captured by the security camera. And with it, we can easily find out who was sitting in this car on that day 10 years ago. Which is why I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day. Oh shit, he's powered. What? Whoa! You weren't an old man at all, dear God! I mean, you are an old man, but... Pardon?
You've done well, boy, to make it this far. However, about your claim that I was riding in the car at the time, that's going to be mighty difficult to prove.
How so?
The Principality of Kadopia no longer exists. So naturally, all records from that time period also no longer exist. I made personally sure of it.
That's arrogance. What he really means is he's already erased all traces of them.
Are we finished here, boy?
The only weapon I have left to me now is this piece of footage. He's literally toying with the thing I pointed out in the reflection! There must be something here that I can use against him! Literally the thing I pointed out!
Take that!
What the? Ambassador Alba!
Yes? What is it?
You were once an army man in the service of Cadopia. And it was you who made this many missions you participated in successes, correct?
Why the sudden backhanded praises, boy? Although, to be sure, the brilliant medals on my breast were awarded to me during the era of Cadopia. But now I am the only one who owns this particular medal.
Well, in that case, the only person it could be who is sitting in this car is you!
How do you figure that?
By the medal captured here in this footage! It is clearly the same exact medal as the one on your chest!
What?
Oh my god, his face is cracking apart. Sir, are you okay? I mean, I don't care because you're a bad guy, but are you okay, bud? Buddy? Dude? I'm pretty sure people's faces don't crack apart like that. This is how it will be, but I won't look back! For this is the path that I have chosen!
You've moved me with your devotion to this case, Mr. Edgeworth.
Why is he taking such an arrogant stance with me?
It's almost looking possible, isn't it? For the lot of you to have come this far. It looks like I just might lose our little game this time.
You might lose the game this time. You don't get another round, Mr. Ambassador!
Is that a fact? Very well. I've decided to confess and admit my guilt.
You're going to confess?
And I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result.
What the?
Regarding the Damascus second murder, I admit it. I did it out of self-defense.
You're claiming it was justified self-defense?
Damascus II attacked me, and I felt that my life was in danger. If I hadn't done what I did, I might be the one you found dead instead of him.
What a pathetic performance.
I'm not giving you one.
Wow, you do really know how to laugh at inappropriate times.
If you wish to claim it was just justified self-defense, then we will need some evidence.
It's always the evidence with you, isn't it? But if that's what you require, I'll provide it. That man left a mark on me when he attacked.
What?
I don't particularly want to show it off, but this is proof that it was in self-defense. I'm an old man, and sometimes I don't pay enough attention when I should.
That is an incredibly dangerous area. Like if it would have hit your, oh god, there's a very particular artery around your neck area that's extremely vitally important that if it gets struck, you're fucking dead.
But Damas II didn't have a single weapon on his body.
Hold on. There's nothing to get worked up over because I hid the weapon.
You hid it?
I'm sorry, but as you know, a murder is a murder, even if it's in self-defense. And I couldn't let it become public, seeing as how I am an ambassador. This is the weapon you seek. My special bonsai trimming shears.
Jesus Christ. It's a fucking hell of a weapon. Good God.
It's covered in blood.
He was trembling quite badly during our struggle. But that's when he grabbed the shears that were sitting in my office and attacked. So you see, it was an act of self-defense.
Is he right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Since he has both a wound and a weapon that caused it, it's enough to declare it so. Ambassador Alba's wounds. This old man was playing the old man trick when in reality he was just... Oh god. He could have broken my neck at any time.
No way!
Oh, which reminds me, I guess there's still one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all of that is my secretary's doing. I had no knowledge it was going on.
Hold on! Stop spewing nonsense! You're trying to throw my investigation under the bus in your desperation? If you want to get real honest, everything in this case can be connected to you!
The murder of Damas II was done in self-defense? In my trials, no man escapes his crime alive!
Perhaps so, if you were my opponent in court. However, there is one very important fact that I think you may have forgotten.
And what is that? Oh shit.
Gah! That's what you mean! Extraterritorial!
That's right. This embassy sits on what is effectively Alabastian soil. So any trial that is to be held will be held in Alabast. Therefore, the crime I just admitted to will never be tried in your courts.
Agent Lang, what is Interpol's stance on this?
Agents investigate. That's our job! The judgment of people who have confessed their crime. That's the court's job!
And I've already confessed to all of my crimes, Agent Lang. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterritorial rights. These rights are effective, even on your country's soil. Therefore, no matter where a crime may take place, I will never stand trial in one of your courts!
That's arrogance, and your expression. That's nothing like the face of someone who is ready to accept the consequences! Don't tell me you have your own country's judicial system eating right out of your hands!
These crimes you all speak so seriously of. To me, this has all been nothing more than a game. You may chase me out of this embassy with your accusations, but it's no big deal. Alabasta has numerous other embassies in other countries around the world. All you would accomplish is you would change the backdrop of our little game.
These two layers of protection that Extraterritorial provides him. This is why he is one of those who cannot be brought to court! You arrogant prick!
You see now, don't you? I live in a whole different world than you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and fetch your eviction papers.
Sir, you're not gonna kill me, are you?
Not as long as you keep your mouth shut.
Okay. Is there nothing we can do? Holy shit, that's a hell of a cliffhanger. Motherfucking extraterritorial rights! Oh my god! No wonder he's the head of the smuggling ring. He's fucking protected out the wazoo! I don't care if he's an old man. I want to hit him upside the head with a bat!